welcome back to New Hampshire Today. Jack Heath in the Auto Fair studio. I want to say hi to Northeast Delta Dental, NEDelta.com, one of our tremendous sponsors. They have affordable oral health insurance. If you're an individual or family who's not part of a business group plan, Bedford Village Inn, of course. If you're looking to get up here for the presidential primary, that's a great place to stay. We are back. We're also simulcasting on C-SPAN 3 and cspan.org, C-SPAN Channel 249, digital cable. 866-823-1077. Congressman Dick Spuck, former congressman in New Hampshire, joining me in the studio. Give an objective view of this crazy primary season that's finally here.
I would like to think so, but I'm sure there's some out there who don't think that's the case.
Well, let's just we have some listeners who are patient. Is Julio from Chicago still on?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead. Thank you for your patience, sir. Go ahead. You're on New Hampshire Today.
No problem. I'm a big fan of the Live Free or Die state. I think it's better than where I'm coming from in Chicago. So props to you guys in New Hampshire, and thanks for doing this today.
Well, I thank C-SPAN for carrying it. What's on your mind?
I'm a broadcasting major. I just graduated from college, and it's very interesting seeing how, you just had Carl Cameron on, how the media is not necessarily covering, giving just enough time for a lot of the GOP nominees. You know, Cameron talked about how, Herman Cain falls. He thinks Newt Gingrich will go up into the third spot, but, he talked about Michelle Bachmann and John Huntsman, but never once did I hear anything about a Ron Paul. You rarely hear anything about Ron Paul on any of the cable networks, or a guy like a Gary Johnson, for instance. And I find it very interesting. We have a lot of people interested, very politically involved. I'm 22 years old, and just seeing the way the media is just only giving us certain candidates to look at, I just find it very troubling. Well, and it's great that your program, you're going to be actually talking to all of these candidates and giving New Hampshire just an understanding of where these candidates actually come from. And I feel that people need to take their time and do their own research. Be your own investigative reporter. Look at the campaign contributions at each individual candidate in 2012, and hopefully we can all make a wise decision on who we want to be president.
Well,
thanks for what you're doing.
Julio, first of all, thank you for listening, and maybe we'll do this as a regular thing, but I like my afternoon job. But, Julio, I can tell you're going to do well in broadcasting. You have the voice, you have the inflection, you have the analysis. But Dick Spuck,
and good complete sentences, too.
He makes a great point, though.
Yes.
Thanks for your call.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for your call, Julio. Ron Paul, he's going to be on the show in about an hour. Probably the boldest ideas. You may not agree with him, but he's been consistent. But the media, you watch the talking heads tonight, they won't be talking about Ron Paul no matter how he does in the debate because they say he's not electable.
Well, then that's the first thing that you have to focus on is that the media is looking at who they think is most electable. And so they're looking at whose numbers are moving, and as was mentioned, I think you said this, and Julio also made mention of this. Look, Gingrich is coming up because of Kane's stumbling right now, and these are the things that the media is looking at because they like the dynamism, they like the fight, they like the contrast. And when you've got Ron Paul, who has a very hardcore set of supporters who settle around 10%, they're there day in, day out, but they aren't moving. They're not moving up, they're not moving down either, but they're always there. That to the media is not as interesting as watching Kane shoot to the top and then fall back down. So that's why you're not going to see that.
But you agree there's some subjective measure they put to these candidates, whether it's who can raise money, who has that, whatever, because if they gave a little more attention to a Ron Paul, other people than his staunch supporters might look at him and say, I like him.
Well, except I think it has less to do with this kind of, this cabal feeling, this sense that there's this, organized look at these kinds of information, facts and whatnot. I think it has more to do with human nature. I think that what people are looking for is what is the most interesting and the most dynamic relationship between the candidates. And it was Mitt and Perry at one point, and now it's Kane and all of his accusers. Well, eventually it's going to be somebody else, but it's going to be because somebody else has a friction point with another party, not because anyone is making a strategic decision that, well, we're going to now see if we can take someone else down on this pack. Ron Paul is a very steady Eddie kind of consistent man who doesn't look like a presidential contender, you put him next to Mitt Romney, and who you're going to choose on looks. You know, that's
that's a fair point.
And I think the media
it is cosmetic, especially this day and age.
They're looking at not only cosmetics, but they're looking at what's the dynamic presentation at the moment.
Right. Ironic, though, a lot of Paul's ideas in the economy have frightfully come true. Listen, thanks, Julio. We're going to go out to Alicia Preston here in New Hampshire. Good friend. I haven't talked to